to show you something. This is a real IMAT Physics exam. Most students who fail this don't fail because they're bad at physics. They fail because they studied the wrong things in the wrong order with no clear plan. I've seen students spend 3 months on physics and still freeze on exam day. So in this video, I'm giving you the exact 30-day system I wish I had when I started. Not just a list of topics, an actual plan with the right order, the right mindset, and the shortcuts that actually work for IMAT specifically. And I'll be honest with you, some of what I'm about to say will probably surprise you. Here's the truth about IMAT Physics that nobody tells you. The exam doesn't test how much you know. It tests how fast you can think. Look at the typical IMAT Physics question. It's not asking you to derive equations. It's asking you to recognize a situation. Pick the right approach and get to the answer in under 2 minutes. That's a completely different skill, and that's why most study plans fail. That treat IMAT Physics like a university course, but it's not. It's a pattern recognition test with physics vocabulary. So, this 30-day plan is built around one idea. Solve first, memorize later. Every week, you'll learn a concept, but immediately apply it to real IMAT-style questions. Because your brain doesn't remember what you read. It remembers what confused you, what you got wrong, and what finally clicked. This is called desirable difficulty. The slight struggle of solving a question before you fully understand it is exactly what makes the concept stick. So don't be scared when you don't get something immediately. That confusion, that's your brain building a memory. By the way, if you want all of this already structured for you, lessons, handwritten notes, and practice question organized exactly in this order, I built a full IMAT Physics course on Udemy. Links in the description. But for now, let's get into the plan. Week 1 is about motion and forces, and I want to start with something that will save you hours. Most students memorize 5 kinematic equations on day 1. Don't. Instead, start with one question. What is actually happening to this object? Is it speeding up, slowing down, falling, being pushed? Once you can answer that visually, the equation picks itself. For example, free fall. Most students panic when they see a free fall question. But free fall is just one idea. Gravity pulls everything down at 9.8 meters per second square. That's it. Once that clicks, questions about falling objects, thrown ball, even projectiles become the same question in different clothes. For days 1, 2, 3, don't just read. Sketch every situation. Draw the motion before you write a single number. Here's the one insight that makes dynamics click. Every IMAT dynamics question is secretly asking, what forces are fighting each other? And who wins? Draw the free body diagram first. always, even if it takes 30 seconds. That 30 seconds will save you from 90% of mistakes. For day 7, take 10 questions, mix of kinematics and dynamics. Don't check answers until you finish all 10. Then go back, mark mistakes, and write down why you got each one wrong. That mistakes log, that's your most valuable study tool for the next 23 days. Week 2 is where a lot of students make a critical mistake. They treat energy, fluids, and thermodynamics as 3 separate subjects. They are not. They're all asking the same question. What happens when something transfers or transforms? Energy transfers from kinetic to potential. Heat transfers from hot to cold. Pressure transfers through a fluid. Once you see that thread, week 2 becomes much less overwhelming. Here's the insight that changed everything. Energy is never created or destroyed. It just changes form. So, when you see an energy questions on IMAT, your first move is always what form is energy in at the start and what form is it in at the end. That one question solves 70% of energy problems. Kinetic energy, potential energy, conservation of energy, power, all of these are just different ways of tracking that transformation. Good news! This is one of the most underrated easy sections in IMAT Physics. Most questions come down to 2 ideas. Pressure increases with depth and objects float when buoyancy equals weight. 2 ideas, that's it. Spend these 2 days solving as many fluid questions as you can find. Pattern recognition here is faster than any other topic. For days 13 to 14, don't go deep here. IMAT thermodynamics is mostly conceptual. Temperature, heat transfer, thermal equilibrium, and basic ideal gas behavior. Focus on understanding direction. Heat always flows from hot to cold. Gas expands when heated. Pressure and volume move in opposite directions at constant temperature. If you can answer which direction does this system move, you can answer most IMAT thermodynamic questions. End of week 2, same as last week. Mixed review day. 10 questions, all chapters so far. Update your mistake log. If you're finding it hard to find good practice questions organized by topic, that's exactly what my Udemy course solves. Every chapter has guided examples and practice problems, so you're never just reading theory without applying it. Link in the description. Week 3 is the week most students dread, electricity especially. But here's what nobody tells you. Electricity is just water in pipes. Seriously, voltage is the pressure pushing water through. Current is how much water is flowing. Resistance is how narrow the pipe is. Once that analogy clicks, Ohm's law stops being a formula you memorize and starts being something that makes intuitive sense. V equals IR. High resistance, low current, low resistance, high current. That's it. 4 days here because this is one of the highest yield topics on IMAT. Focus on current, voltage, resistance, and circuits. For series and parallel circuits, here's the shortcut. In series, current is the same everywhere. In parallel, voltage is the same everywhere. Write that on a sticky note. Put it on your wall because that one idea solves almost every circuit question. Spend at least one full day just solving circuit problems, not reading about them, solving them. Good news again. Most IMAT wave questions are conceptual, not computational. They're testing whether you understand behavior, not calculation. Does the wave speed up or slow down when it enters a denser medium? Does the image appear in front of or behind the mirror? Is the lens converging or diverging? Focus on the logic of each situation. One tip that saves a lot of time: for mirrors and lenses, always draw the ray diagram first, even a raw sketch. This time, go back to your mistake log from week 1 and 2. Are you repeating the same mistakes? If yes, that topic needs one more focused session before the final week. Don't ignore patterns in your mistakes. They are telling you exactly where your points are hiding. Week 4 is where everything comes together. Atomic models, radioactivity, photoelectric effect, and nuclear basics. Here's the honest truth about this section. Modern physics has one of the best effort to reward ratios on IMAT. The concepts are straightforward. The questions are mostly conceptual, and students who spend even 2 focused days here consistently pick up points that others leave on the table. Focus on understanding the story of each topic. What does the photoelectric effect actually mean? What happens during radioactive decay? What did each atomic model get right and wrong? You don't need deep calculations here. You need clear mental pictures. This is the most important phase of the entire challenge. Stop studying by chapter. From this point, every practice session should mix topics randomly, exactly like the real exam does. Because the real skill IMAT is testing isn't whether you know kinematics, it's whether you can look at the question code with no label telling you what topic it is and figure out the approach in 30 seconds. That skill only comes from mixed practice. So, take past IMAT physics questions, shuffle them, set a timer, and treat every session like the real thing. 3 rules for these last 3 days. Rule 1. Do not study new material. Anything you haven't covered by now will not save you in 3 days. Rule 2. Go through your mistake log one final time, every single entry. This is your personalized exam guide, built entirely from your own weak points. And Rule 3. Simulate exam conditions. Sit down, set a timer, solve questions. No phone, no pausing, no checking answers midway. The goal isn't to learn more. The goal is to make your brain comfortable performing under pressure. Here's what I want you to remember. 30 days from now, you won't be a physics genius, but you will be dangerous. You'll recognize patterns faster. You'll know exactly how to approach each question type. And you'll walk into that exam knowing you prepared smarter than most people in the room. That's the goal. Smart preparation, not perfection. Now I've put the full 30-day plan as a free PDF in the description. Day by day and topic by topic. Download it, print it, and use it. And if you want to complete package, full lessons, handwritten notes, practice questions, and structured explanations built specifically for IMAT Physics, my Udemy course is also linked below. I built it because when I was preparing, I couldn't find one resource that had everything in one place. So I made it. If this video helped you, subscribe because I post IMAT Physics content every week. Solve questions, concept breakdowns, and exam strategies. Day 1 starts today. Good luck and I'll see you in the next one.